Hello, fellow comic book readers and expensive paper collectors. I'm back here with another video of some back order issues that I got on some comics. Still waiting on my comics that I pre-ordered to come in for this month from the end of last month into early this month. Should be here hopefully this week, maybe next week. We'll see. And I'll do a video on it whenever I get it. But they were having a sale at the comic book shop that I shop at online, so I got these back order issues. Please bear with me because I'm going to be reading off my piece of paper here to make sure I get the titles right as to what some of these True Believers are actually reprints of. But first off, I got Tales of Suspense number 39. It's a facsimile edition. The very first appearance of Iron Man, as you can see there. It is the complete comic in its entirety, just as it was back in, I think, the 1960s when this came out. But nice issue to have there. I also have a facsimile edition of the Wolverine Volume 2, issue number 1, that came out in 1988. It was the very first series that Wolverine had that was a ongoing series. His first series was a 4-part series. And I have the issue number 1 of the very first 4-part series as well. It's a facsimile as well. Because if you try to get some issues now, it's just, some of them are retardedly expensive. Next up, we have True Believers Soul Sword, which is the Uncanny X-Men. And it is Volume 1, number 171. It's when Rogue joins the team, and as you can see there, welcome to the X-Men Rogue. Very nice. It's a reprint of the comic. I do enjoy these True Believers because they're very cheap. They're only like $1, but on my site that I shop at, they're only like 80 cents or so, 90 cents, something like that. So I get a little bit of a discount. Next up, I've got True Believers Saturnine. And it is a collection of the Marvel Superheroes line from the UK. As you can see there, it's got Captain Britain and Saturnine on it. And it collects... it is Volume 1, and it collects 380 through 383. Some good stuff there. I haven't read any of that stuff. I haven't read any of the stuff from the UK for Marvel, which should be interesting. I like Captain Britain and the Excalibur line, so that should be interesting. We also have True Believers Mr. Sinister, another Uncanny X-Men title. And it is Volume 1, number 221. As you can see there, you got Havoc on the cover, blasting Wolverine there. It's pretty cool. And then we also have True Believers number 1. It is Grey Crow, and it is the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, number 211, and it is part of the Mutant Massacre storyline that they had that was cross titles between several different X-Men titles. And it dealt with Mr. Sinister's Marauders going and basically killing a whole bunch of failed mutants, is what Mr. Sinister called them. And it was a massacre that Gambit was a part of, and it really messed up Gambit after that. He didn't actually have anything to do with it, but he led them there, and he felt really, really crappy after, watching the events unfold from the sewer grate. It was really bad for his character. But now we also have True Believers King in Black, the Valkyrie, which is an old Avengers edition. Here is Avengers Volume 1, number 83. It is I think it's the first appearance of Valkyrie. It's pretty cool. I haven't read any of the old Avengers stuff, except for a few here and there that I've collected reprints of. But this has to do with some of the King in Black stuff that's upcoming, that it started already, and it runs through, I think, February. Here's another one here. It's True Believers King in Black, Iron Man, Doctor Doom, because they're going to have a team up there for the King of Black. But this is the Invincible Iron Man, part of the Doom Quest. And it is Iron Man Volume 1, number 141. And as you can see there, it's pretty cool. Got Doom's eye on there, and Iron Man flying on the cover. Pretty cool. both of them are some of my favorite characters there. We got True Believers #1, the King in Black, Franklin Richards. And it's Fantastic Four, Volume 1, number 245. And it's got Sue Storm there on the cover. Pretty cool. Another old issue. Like I said, all these are reprints of the original issues, which is pretty cool because a lot of them are very hard to find and good quality that are cheap. If you try to go on eBay, it's ridiculous. Especially this one. This is True Believers, King in Black, the Black Panther. This is the first appearance of the Black Panther in the Fantastic Four comics. I want to say it's the first appearance in Marvel altogether for the Black Panther. And it is Fantastic Four Volume 1, number 52. And like I said, this issue here would cost you a lot of money to get in the original print. So these True Believer tie-ins for $1, you know, they're well worth it. They may be worth money later on, who knows. I just collect them because I like these stories and I like these characters, and it's nice to have like their first issue of them coming into on the scene, and you know, seeing how things were back, you know, in the 60s and 70s and 80s in the comic books, because most of the comics I grew up with were in the 90s and 2000s and on into now. Next up, I've got True Believers, King in Black, the Black Cat. This is The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 194. It's the first appearance of the Black Cat in Amazing Spider-Man. And I like her character. She's pretty cool. You see there, very nice. Now we have True Believers #1, introducing the Black Widow, which is Tales of Suspense, and it's a multi-issue. It's Tales of Suspense, and it has Volume 1, 52 and 53 in it, which is some of the, I think, first appearances of Black Widow. That's pretty cool. Some old comic there. Old Iron Man stuff. You got True Believers, Black Widow, the Taskmaster. And this comes from the Avengers. And it is Volume 1, number 196, the first appearance of Taskmaster in the Avengers. And Taskmaster is a pretty cool character because he can pretty much copy anyone's fighting style, which is pretty awesome. Very hard to beat him. Alright, next up we got True Believers, Black Widow, the Red Guardian. And this is another Avengers Volume 1, number 43. And I want to say it's the first appearance of the Red Guardian and the Winter Guard from Russia. It was like their superhero team. Not very good, but pretty cool nonetheless. And lastly, I have True Believers, Black Widow, and the Amazing Spider-Man. And this comes out of the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. And it is number 86. I want to say it's the first appearance of Black Widow in Amazing Spider-Man. It's pretty cool there. I don't know why he's saying that, you know, she basically copies his fighting style, because they're two totally different things, but still pretty cool. Like the cover with the dark shadow like that. That's pretty cool. Reminds me of the Beware the Vision cover from the Avengers. So, nice little haul there.